All right, I was just sitting here looking at like who's playing on the album and who the instrumentalists are and stuff like that, and I saw Mick Karn from Japan playing on this album at some point, and I just thought of something. How amazing would it be if at one point Kate Bush had worked with David Sylvian? Oh. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Justin, and today we're listening to Kate Bush. Coming back to her. I've missed listening to Kate Bush, at least here. I've been listening to the Dreaming on my own. With her album, The Sensual World, with her song, The Sensual World, off of her album, The Sensual... I kind of messed it up. It was released in 1989, same year I was born. It's been quite a while since we listened to Kate Bush. It's been a minute since we've listened to her. Like I said, I've been listening to The Dreaming on my own, and I've been like reacclimating myself with that album. And you know what? It's not as hard to listen to as I originally thought so, but I think that's also just me getting used to it a little bit more. So far, my favorite song on it is Tenor. Maybe one day I'll do an album review of something. But for right now, I just wanted to listen to some more Kate Bush. A lot of you guys had recommended this specific album, so I figured, you know what? Let's just move right on. You guys are more than welcome to join me on Twitter. You guys are more than welcome to join me in the comments down below, in which I am always around. I'm literally always around. I may not respond to every comment because, you know, I'm busy, but I'm down there. I'm reading. I'm lurking. Let's do it. This is The Sensual World by Kate Bush. What a fantastic opening. Okay. There's so much to talk about in this one. Okay, just the way that all the instrumentation, first of all, production, okay? Production is top notch. Like it's up there, okay? But the production allows this big and beautiful and lush atmosphere to be built within the music itself, within the layers of her vocals, within the layers of the bass, which, by the way, this song sounds very 80s. It sounds like it takes a few cues from like 80s synth pop, not like totally, but like just a few, especially in the bass, the rhythm, and that atmosphere that just lurks kind of underneath the song. And the song as a whole, like, tell me if this kind of sounds right. Because sometimes you guys know, music is a very abstract thing, okay? For the ability to sound, to be combined in certain frequencies and certain rhythms, and for it to pass through our minds, and it does something to us, okay? So sometimes words don't quite match what I want to say. But if I can try and express this kind of song, it feels deeper than like Skin. And I know, like, you know, music reaches your heart, reaches music your soul, or music reaches your heart and your soul and your mind, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is that kind of soul music, right? I would even go so far as to say, like, this sounds a little bit like 80s R&B styles, you know, that kind of soul. And like soul, like, this really cuts deep. And that's something that I've always enjoyed listening to Kate Bush. And she can look into this music and say, you know what? We're going to strip some things. We're going to experiment with some things. We're going to play with some things. And we don't always know how the product's going to turn out, but it's going to be mine. And it will always be me. That's one of the reasons I enjoy listening to Kate Bush's music, is because I know when I'm listening to Kate Bush, I'm getting Kate Bush. In the way that she experiments with her music, in the way that she builds her concepts and everything. But yes, I mean, this song, the whispery tones of her vocals, and I mean, like the song and album title, so sensual and so romantic and so passionate. It just like kind of rolls around in like romantic throes. It's, hey. And then at some point we even get some bagpipe like instruments. I don't know if it's a bagpipe, but it kind of sounds like a bagpipe. It's something, at least in the family, it has to be. But we get some bagpipe kind of sounds going on, and I don't necessarily think that those sounds would work in any other hands. Like, she is able to even use that, this Irish and Celtic sound, and naturally allow that to flow into the music and give it a more earthy kind of feel, which she did in the Ninth Wave with the Jig of Life, but that was a little bit more on the nose. This was a little bit more subtle in the way that it was brought up. But listening specifically to that rhythm section, the drum and the bass, very 80s, very, very 80s. The way that the strings begin to rise, the way the synth begins to rise, and her voice rising as well, but never rising like up here. It just like rises a little bit of cadence, and then it brings it back down to these soft and whispery tones. And listen, specifically, the way that she repeats, yes. Okay, not like that. You guys heard it. But the way that she says that, the way that she vibrates her voice, just in saying the part. And then the yes is this just beautiful release. The is shaking, just shaking in pure, unadulterated passion. It's Kate Bush. And I just love her pacing, the way she moves off of it, the way that she builds all the vocals behind it, the way that, you know, there's a lot going on in the background, there's a lot going on in the middle ground, there's a lot going on in the foreground, there's a lot going on, but the song never sounds crowded, it never sounds like too much is going on. It sounds like just the right amount is going on, and that, I don't know, Kate Bush is just a master of this art. This is the type of song that you put on and you just like get lost in it. You know? And perhaps that goes for the rest of the album, which I don't know. We'd have to listen to the rest of the album. But at least for this song, I feel like this would be a good single, put out on the radio. This is that nice 11 p.m. night drive. You're driving with the windows down, and you're just like feeling that cool breeze going through your hair, or lack of hair if you're like me. And this is just, it's just that type of music. The lyrics. Yes. Then I taken the kiss of seed cake back from his mouth, going deep south, going down. Yes. Took 6 big wheels and rolled our bodies off of Heath Head and into flesh. Yes. He said I was a flower of the mountain. Yes, but now I've powers over a woman's body. Yes. Stepping out of the page into the sensual world. Stepping out. So where the water and the earth caress and down of a peach says, yes. You know, what I really enjoy about this is the subtlety of everything, right? This isn't Cardi B, WAP, right? This is Kate Bush, sensual world. There's so many sexual undertones in the music, but they're coming across very romantic. They're very poetically written. Kate Bush is able to manipulate and tell these stories in a way that can be interpreted in so many different ways, but the underlying of it is just good. Okay, it says that, I don't even know how to pronounce this, Uillean pipes were played in this song, which I'm looking at a picture of, and I mean, in some capacity they look like bagpipes. And we got Del Palma returning on the bass, Stuart Elliott on the drums again. I mean, listen, she found the crew that works with what she's trying to create. Kind of like what I mentioned, like my favorite artist, David Sylvian, when he does his solo music, he finds artists that can capture his ideas, put them to music, but still bring their own personality. And these musicians around Kate Bush and working with her are able to do that, insert their own personalities and their own artistic visions into the music alongside Kate Bush. Of course, working towards her vision as a whole, but still having a part of their soul in the music as well. I don't know. It's a great song. I liked it. You guys, let me know what you thought of this song. Let me know if you'd like me to continue the album. You can join me on Twitter. You can join me in the comments down below. I really hope that you're having a fantastic day. Yes. Have a good one. Bye.